Hi. Didn't realize it recorded. I started to record. Anyway, welcome back to another video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. You have to excuse me, my camera is up high, so I won't be breaking my neck to look up at the camera, but I will be looking at the screen and to narrate and read uh, the information that I'm about to give you guys. So, I talk about psychological manipulation, okay? And one of the things that happens as a TI is the psychological program. And the psychological program is based off of what is called Coercive Persuasion Program. Then you have within Coercive Persuasion Program or programming, you have the various methods and techniques and method in which they uh, psychologically manipulate, brainwash you, the TI, or any individual. They use psychological programming such as Doc NLP, operant condition, classical conditioning. And so we have to understand the psychological aspect of our target, how they have manipulated us, they have brainwashed us to think and act in a certain manner. One of the most important thing is to understand also the technology being used, not just the psychological technology, but the direct to energy technology also. Silent sound spectrum is one such technology in which they can manipulate, brainwash you in real time. Also, when you are sleeping, that is when it is its most effective. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown of the psychological manipulation. Of course, I've done this many times, and from time to time I'll rehash this. But I figure why not include this with the information in terms of the videos of my targeting and me explaining what's going on in my targeting before, you know, I put the video up. Okay, so psychological manipulation, psychological manipulation and induce psychological illnesses or illness. And what are the some of the things that are in psychological manipulation? But first, let's me read uh, some of the things that are on the site. This is a site called psychologicalharassment.com. As indicated on the homepage, psychological harassment and psychological manipulation, mind control can induce psychological and physical disorders. When an individual is targeted, the level of harassment usually begins slow and increase with time. Anytime someone interacts with you, they can influence your thoughts and also manipulate your thoughts. Usually, people tune out the conversations around them. But if you're in a crowded room and someone calls out your name, they will probably attract your attention, and the same goes for other specific words or sound. Individuals can recall or form images. The expression I get the visual, when someone talks about or describe a scene, you may form an image even if you have never seen what the other person is talking about or describing. An individual come an individual can come in close proximity to another individual and ask a question. If the individual hears the question, whether he is a target of the question or not, his mind can respond with an answer. The answer response can be in different forms, such as an image or sound. For example, if the question is, what does the person look like? The individual may form an image of a person in his mind. If the question is what is the person's name, the individual minds may respond with the sound of the person's name. Okay? So, fear-based conditioning, right? Classical conditioning can be used to associate different threats to different things. Again, classical conditioning is fear conditioning. Okay? And these are some of the section in which I'm not going to get into, because again, it is a lot, and I don't want this video to be too long. But if you've never seen my video or you're watching this for the first time, you can go to this website and read the information that's there. Okay, you have to excuse me, I'm a little tired. I haven't gotten any sleep. So let's talk about coercive mind control tactics, and let's read the definition. So coercion is defined by the American Heritage Dictionary as the force to act or to think in a certain manner, to dominate, restrain, or control by force, to bring about by force. Coercive psychological system or behavioral change system programs which use psychological force in a coercive way to cause the learning and adaptation of an ideology of designated set of beliefs, ideas, attitudes, or behavior. The essential strategy used by the operator of these programs is to systematically select, sequence, and coordinate many different types of coercive influence, anxiety, and stress producing tactics over a continuous period of time. If in such a program, the subject is forced to adapt in a series of tiny invisible steps. Each tiny step is designed to be sufficiently small so that the subjects will not notice the change in themselves or identify the coercive nature of the process being used. The subject of these tactics do not become aware of the hidden organizational purpose of the coercive psychological system much later, if ever. These tactics are usually applied in a group setting by well-intended but deceived friends and allies of the victim. This keeps the victim from putting up the ego defense we normally maintain in known adversarial situation. The coercive psychological influence of these programs aim to overcome the individual critical thinking abilities and free will. Apart from any appeal to informed judgment, victims gradually lose their ability to make independent decisions and exercise informed consent. Their critical thinking, defense, cognitive process, processes, values, ideas, attitudes, conduct, and ability to reason are undermined by a technological process rather than by meaningful free choice, rationality, or the inherent merit or values of the idea or propositions being presented. How do they work? And there are various tactics. So these are tactics. I'm not going to read them, but they're on screen. You guys can read them for yourself. All right, and then here you have tactic 7, and so forth and so forth. So I talk about when I'm in the house, when I go from room to room, how I'll hear police sirens. For example, if I am in the kitchen and I'm touching the pipes, the metal pipe, I hear police car honking or uh, ambulances and stuff like that. And the police have been using through the wall technology for a very long time. This is nothing new. This article is from the National Institute of Justice Journal, written October 1st, 2007 by Christopher A. Miles. And it talks about law enforcement using these technologies to see into people's home, right? They can see into people's wall. They can even recognize certain objects. But this is basic stuff. if you're TI and you have been implanted, they don't need to do all that. They're seeing everything through your eyes, right? Through your mind's eyes because of the microchip. And they have decoded the brain over well over 2 decades. Right? And so they're able with the microchip to recognize any object you hold in your hand. Okay, its color, shape, not also that, because of your implant, anything that you eat, there is a sensation for that. And they're able to recognize those things. Okay, so the article, you guys can go onto the website and read it yourself. I just wanted to show this article to show that these things are not new. All right, they're not new, and they've gotten way more advanced now. All right. Okay. Um, Synthetic telepathy. All right, which is silent sound spectrum. This is a PDF you can find online at Pulse Tech Research. This is by Richard Miller. And in it, he exposes technologies that the government have developed. All right. And in there, and you can see, so some of the things are from 1974, where it talks about each vertical line is one short pulse of microwave signal at a frequency to which the human brain is sensitive. Timing of each microwave pulse is controlled by each downslope crossing of the voice wave. Sharp method, 1974. When the brain converts the train of microwave pulse back to inaudible voices, there is no conscious defense possible against this form of hypnosis. Right? So this is what silent sound does. Basically, use it for mind control, could place you under mind control, hypnotize you, right? Then make you do whatever they want you to do. Okay. There's been a lot. You've noticed every couple of years there's always been mass shootings, and it's getting more prevalent. It is technologies like this that is being used in individual to cause such mass shooting. Okay, so let's talk about the mind altering mechanism is based, right? Before let me just read the whole thing here. So ordinary radio and TV signals use a smooth waveform called a sine wave, right? I learned that in circuit analysis and also in algebra and uh, 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 is it calculus, right? And also in physics too. This wave signal cannot normally penetrate the voltage gradient across the nerve cell wall. Radar signals consist of a very short and powerful pulse of sine wave type signal and can penetrate the steep voltage gradient across these nerve cells walls. Okay? Defenses in osmosis of ion dissolved salt components cause a small voltage difference across cell walls. When a small voltage appears across a very short, tiny distance, the change in voltage is called very steep. It is this steep gradient that keeps normal radio signals from throwing us into convulsions. The mind altering mechanism is based on a subliminal carrier technology, the silent sound spectrum, or SSSS, sometimes called S squad or squad. It was developed by Dr. Oliver Lowry of Norcross, Georgia, and is described in U.S. patent, blah, blah, blah. You guys can read that. Silent subliminal presentation system. A silent communication system in which non-aural carriers in a very low or very high audio frequency range or in the adjacent ultrasonic frequency spectrum or amplitude or frequency modulated with the desired intelligence and propagated acoustically or vibrationally for inducement into the brain, typically through the use of loudspeaker, earphone, and piezoelectric transducers. The modulated carriers may be transmitted directly in real time or may be conveniently recorded and stored on mechanical, magnetic, or optical media for delay or repeated transmission to the listener. According to literature by Silent Sound, it is now possible using supercomputers to analyze human emotional EEG patterns and replicate them, then store these emotions signature clusters on another computer, and at will silently induce and change the emotional state of a human being. Now, I experienced that a lot with Pamela. A lot. Her emotional state will switch multiple times during the day. Okay? So, let's go to the video, because I don't want to make this video too long. All right, it's late and I need to get to bed. All right, so remember I talked about this footage in my previous videos that I uploaded on YouTube when I said that I got them, basically explaining how they target me and what it is that they do. Okay, so let's go.
Good morning.
So just left my apartment building this morning. Walking down the street, you'll see this Hispanic female. She has a mask off,
Let's see.
right? But when she recognizes that I'm recording and she's getting to walk back by me, she puts on her mask.
What else they got today now?
Okay? I want you to look at this. So now you'll see she's going to raise her finger and point to me, as you can see right here. All right, she's pointing to me. All right. Then she looks at her phone.
Yeah, you can point at me all you want. You can point at me all you want. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
I see another.
Put it all on camera.
A lot of women in my target
right
this morning, or yesterday morning, I should say.
Put it all on camera. So let's go.
Okay, let me just fast forward here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of characters on here.
Another Hispanic man. So what they're doing is that they'll use drug addicts,
Went to sleep.
you know, to tell lies about you, right? And the reason why they do that, particularly in my targeting, is because they had drugged me, right? So they try to say that, you know, that I use drugs. First of all, I don't use drugs. Never use drugs. Okay? That's for one. They've tried to get me hooked on drugs. They try to have people offer me cocaine and all that shit, and I'm like, no. Because this is what they do. Right? So, because I've thoroughly explained my experience in this program from the very first time it happened to where I was drugged, not once, okay? Not once now, but multiple times. And the reason for drugging you is to soften up your mind. That way, your mind becomes very it's like more spongy, right? So you soak in more of the psychological conditioning that's going to be taking place. Now, These two, you could definitely tell yeah, they're on drugs. Okay, most definitely. And so you'll see now Hispanic male. Okay,
Got a bunch of
he's
characters on here. A whole bunch of characters.
put his hand over his mouth. That's just me breathing to my mask. Okay, now you see the woman in front wearing the black jacket. You see she dropped her bag down. Okay, she's acting as if she's putting on her jacket. Not putting it. I'm sorry, closing it up. But you see her hands never go up, right? So she's closing her jacket. Never goes up. Look, never goes up. Then you'll see where we at here. Okay, let's go here and let me see if I can extend this frame. Let me see if I can extend that. Actually, I can't. Okay, so again, as soon as I turn the corner, you'll see another Hispanic female here. She walks over to the car window. Okay.
Look at her, look at her. Trying to look. I should have turned the corner, start playing with her
touching
hair.
her hair.
Look, and she hide behind the tree.
Right.
Look. Hiding behind the tree. Look at that shit. Hiding behind the tree.
Again.
Look at that shit.
She's closing her jacket.
Bunch of clowns. Okay. As soon as I turn the corner, she sees me.
Okay.
The sanitation truck, 25DN532.
It's the number on the sanitation truck. It's the number 32.
So they got a. Okay. There's the number 32 that they love to use.
Okay, now, as I'm walking, get to the end of the block, you'll see this guy walking. He's coming out wearing a red jacket, right? And he is going to walk and he's going to stop in the middle of the street right there. Stops in the middle of the street. Now you'll see a FedEx truck, right? Because this is how they send you subliminal message, but they do it like in a third party way, right? Meaning that they're, let's say like the feds is targeting you, or the feds are part of this program, and they want you to know that it's them, but they're not going to use an official Fed, or FBI car or anything like that, then where I can recognize the license plate, or not recognize, but put the license plate on video, or even read out the license plate. All right. So what they'll do is that they'll use FedEx truck. Like for instance, sometimes when they try to send me subliminal message about being arrested, they use a lot of Con Edison trucks, right? Because the word con, or ex-con, so they'll use Con Edison, Con Edison trucks, right? So you see, he stands in the middle of the street right there. and then he walks back when the FedEx trucks pass. Okay, puts his hands in his pocket. Let me mute it because again, the music playing. I don't want to get a copyright strike. So let's go. Let's move on to the next phase. Okay, I missed that bus, so I have to wait for another bus. And you see this woman here. Okay, so you see she starts to do these hand signal, and let me just adjust this slightly. Okay. All right, so there he is, red jacket, staring at me. Okay. And you see my phone camera got flipped around. No, I didn't do that. Okay. So as I'm coming, this woman she looks at me and then she's looking at the woman that's coming down right here. And see she bows her head. This one here in the hat, right? The cap. She bows her head. So she looks back at the FedEx truck. Okay. Now when she looks at me, she just opens up her hands, right? And there she go. You see this woman here wearing the blue shirt. She looks at her. It's a signal. She turns, looks again. Let me again adjust. Let's do that. Let's go back. You see how she keeps moving her fingers? Basically, she's using her middle finger. Okay. Let me. Okay, so she's basically using her middle finger, because of course I'm videotaping, so she doesn't want to upright do the other direction because it would be very, very obvious. So what she's employing is masking, right? Okay, so now the woman here, she steps out. Okay, and I'm going to have to make this. Okay. Now, see again. See how she's moving her middle finger. Now, this guy comes, not this one here, but the one behind him. Okay, and he's walking. Then he turns around He's looking at the dollar van. Okay, and that is when now she's going to start touching her jacket, and again masking the palm fixation drill. Okay, watch as she brings her hands down right there. Okay, talk about masking now. See how he looks at her, and actually I think it's this guy. It's the first guy, right? So this guy right here. Let's go. Okay, there she goes. What's that? Okay. Now he looks at her. He's looking at her. See that? Yep. So that's who it was. It wasn't this guy behind him. It was actually this guy that's walking down. He's gonna look at her, and he gives her a quick nod. Right? Just a quick nod. Okay. This guy, red jacket. Another guy in a red jacket. You're gonna use him as my target. Then you're gonna use him to target me. Now woman in front of me. Now she's basically what they would normally do is stick their finger in the air, but she's gonna mask that. Right? She's not gonna stick her finger in the air, but she's gonna put her finger close enough to her ear to where, yeah, it is to be. It'll be the same thing, you know. Once you condition that way, and again, this is dark NLP, all right, and power association. Okay, and so now you'll see the guy in the red jacket. If you look at his hands, you can barely see it. But what he does is that he's going to do the upside down peace sign. And right there, okay? Then he makes his finger, right? So he has a pointed finger and his thumb on his jacket, okay? And then she's going to do the thumb fixation, which is another drill that they do, the thumb fixation drill. Okay. I want you guys to see this. All right. This is very important. See, this is the reason why the tension was so high on my way home because they know I was going to record this. They know. And they were doing everything possible. Came home, my sister walking back and forth in the hallway, singing hot dog, hot diggity dog. I said, okay, let's go. Right there. Okay. Now she turns and she looks at me as soon as he starts walking off. Right? Oh, he's gonna be walking towards me. Right? Okay, so he did a quick hand signal. Let's see if I can get it on. I can pause it to where I can show you guys. So see? Turns. Damn it. It's so quick. So quick. I gotta get it at the right moment. Right? Got a red jacket. Walk. She's waiting. See, she's looking. She's looking. Okay. Does that hand signal. Walks over here. I just need to pause it at the right moment. So now she turns and she looks at me. Okay, look. All right. And I think he put down 4 fingers. That's what he did. He put down 4 fingers. Right. And then right there, she sticks out his middle finger very, very quickly. Okay. You guys will see. Very, very quickly. Right there. See that? Right there. Look at him. And then she's looking down. So I guess she's either looking at my phone or at my crotch. One or two. They love to do that. Either my phone or at my crotch. So Okay. And he puts his finger in his pocket. Now look at her. Yep, that right there. She's looking at my crotch. Okay, because my phone is not that low. Brown looks at me again. Now, I'm not talking. I'm just have my phone in my hand. So she's not. She doesn't even know if I'm recording or not. Okay, she just did something with her hands. So I have to keep going back and forth like this. This program is a lot easier than the other one because I can just uh, adjust things very easily. Looks at me. Right there. See that? Okay. All right. So now this guy come walking down. This is her cue. Same color jacket as the woman standing in front of me, or similar. Right. So now she comes, walks down. Okay. See again, always putting their hands on themselves, touching themselves. So again, you think it's the bus, right? But it's not. Now she's been standing there for the longest while. This woman right here, she's at the machine, the vending machine, right? Now this woman here, walking down again. She's either a nursing assistant, doctor's assistant. She work in the medical field, right? And this is again referencing Pam, right? Pam has the same uniform. Hers is just uh, a darker navy blue. Okay, so they waited for her to come before they start doing the scenarios, right? Their street theater. So she turns around and she looks the woman by the vending machine. Now, up to now, she has not even bought anything from the vending machine. Okay, and then you'll see she walks back. Now, I just want to be clear. All right, so let's see. Did she buy anything from the vending machine? Did she take anything out? Nope. There's nothing in her hands. Right? And so now this woman, again, so now she's looking at the woman that was in front of me, that was walking off. The way how they do these things is they think they're slick. Okay, so now he comes now. Okay, comes now. He looks down at the sidewalk. Right? See, he's walking directly in front of me. Right? Even I'm standing there. Right? Because again, the reason why he's wearing the red shirt with the champion, uh, symbol. That's why I have on my red shirt with the champion symbol. And I talked about this years ago when they used to target me with people wearing champion shirts, saying that they're the champion or what have you, with such and such. Because again, it is always either a test or a race, right? Or some competition. So I say the people who created these type of programs, they have what is called the dark triad personality traits, and there's three of them, right? So if we go, uh, let's see here, let's go dark triad personality, right? The dark triad personality: psychopathy, narcissism, Machiavellian, right? Let's go here. So you guys can get a better picture, a better idea of the trait. Do I win? Does the company win? Or do we both win? Moderate traits of the dark triad and profit maximization. So, like I said, for them, they always trying to make it seem like, and let me, the TI, know that it's a race, right? So they always have to win, right? Because you're the TI, so you always got to lose, but they always got to win, right? And so they'll try to beat you down into submission, right? So again, understanding their personality is key to let you know who exactly you're dealing with, right? Don't forget that now. It is key, vitally important that you understand their personality and how people like them with their personality are able to influence, right? All these people. Hitler did it, right? Hitler and the SS manipulated an entire country. And you see the same thing is happening here in the United States. Okay? So, yeah. Again, yeah, so you see how when they all walk off, right? Again, because this is how they operate. So now you have somebody else now. So check this out. So this woman comes, right? And you see the guy. Let's go back a little so I can explain it properly. Okay. So you see, as he's walking, he's looking. Who's he looking at? He's looking at the woman in um the scrubs, right? The medical uniform, right? That's what he's looking at. And who do I know that works in the medical field with a uniform like that? But Pam, power of association. Okay. Now they're gonna send this woman, okay, and she's so she now you see the guy with the umbrella. Look what he does. Again, another hand signal. Another hand signal. Let's go when the woman comes up. So there he goes again. He'll stick his pointed finger out, and very slightly. See, this is why I had to do it like this in this format, so that I can point these things out and it's very clear, so that there's no misconstrued information or what it is that I'm looking at. Okay. Now the woman comes. He watch him now. Okay. Right. He's gonna take his umbrella. Right. And there's the hand signal. Much right there. See the two fingers? His two fingers pointed down. So he's holding his. So again, this is again psychological operations. She stands there, just looking through the store window, right? It's a Burger King that's there. Okay. Then she pulls her mask down. Okay. Why? Why? Because they try to get me to not wear my mask in public or to pull my mask down. All right. So she's just standing there now. Okay. She walks off. Let's see what he does. Yeah. Got the red hoodie. So did you guys check the palm fixation and how they mask it? And watch them. Watch. I gotta pause it correctly. Okay. Check it out. I gotta get some filters for these things, like a slow mo filter, so I can do this video in slow motion. All right, watch. I just gotta get it in the right moment. So again, he's looking at the woman wearing the scrubs, the one who may work in the nurses, a doctor office, what have you. She could be a nurse, a nurse assistant, or a some medical assistant, something like that, or a medical profession, right? So watch. Let's see. And now I gotta keep pausing it because I can't do it in slow mo. And I just missed it again. Jeez. Okay. Right there. There we go. Right there. Right? And he's looking at me now. The bus is this way. Right? The bus is this way. But he's looking at me. Right? Palm fixation. There you go. Okay. Now, who's the last person to leave? Right? The woman here with the yellow bag. Okay. Now, as you see, she's staring at her nails. Let me get this, because again, I gotta explain this, and it just goes to show you that the people that are there. They're being paid. They're part of the harassment. It's their job. They're getting paid, without a doubt. Okay. So everybody leaves except for her. See how she looks back. Okay. You see that? You see how she looks back. All right. Watch. That's this guy left. He's leaving. Do the palm fixation, trying to mask it. That's why his mask is off on one side, right? Okay. Then she looks. See? Do you see that? I hope you guys saw that. All right. All right. He looks at me. Now she walks off. All right. Now, look at her. Now she's staring at her nails. Okay. She's basically doing this. Can't see for the camera, but this is what she's doing. Looking at her nails. Right? Okay. let's move on to the next. All right, so then you have this guy. As I'm getting ready to get on the bus, was it a woman? I think it was a woman. Oh man, I can't even tell. And you see, he points at me, right? See that, right? He's pointing at me. Like, you guys see that, right? I'm not making this shit up. It was a woman, yes. Okay. All right. Just got off the bus and reached the corner. I started. It's okay. Let's go back. I have to turn the sound on. So he starts whistling. Okay. You hear the guy behind me coughing? Let's go back again. Yeah, too far. He's coughing behind me, right? Again, it's a fake cough. You can listen to it and tell. It's a fake cough. Okay, now crossing the street. Woman standing over here. She's wearing all black. As the light change.
Right there, let's do stand
Okay.
behind me coughing.
Now I'm approaching, she's gonna go into her bag. Right. Now this woman's gonna come out of the store. Now she's making direct eye contact at me. In her hands, you'll see she takes out some money and she folds it. Let's go back. Right. Okay, let me pause this. What I'm going to do is enlarge this so you guys can see. This is what they didn't want me to do.
Right there, let's do standing behind me coughing.
Okay. So now look at her now. So she looked at me. Now she goes into her bag. Woman comes out of the store. She's making eye contact with me. Okay. You'll see she takes some money out her hands. Right? Okay.
Guy over here, the Bulls jacket in front of me.
I was just saying that, he was whistling. So now you have this guy comes up now. See, they have to get in your way, block your path, get in front of you. Because again, this is all synchronization. Doesn't have the effect on me that it once did. Because I understand what it is that they're doing now. So I've taken away that from them in terms of using those types of movement, right? Those types of precision movement incorporated in the psychological uh, program to target me and harass me, right? So it doesn't have that effect on me. And he walks in front of me, raises up his hands, right? Then you see this woman here. Again, she has a red bag. She's gonna step forward, right? She looked at me. Okay. Okay. So I walk by this lady, and she goes, "Oh boy." So that's why I say, "Oh boy, my ass." Again, uh, black people don't understand when they use that, particularly with black women using that on a black man, calling a black man a boy. It goes back to the KKK and white people and their racist views and behavior towards black men by calling us boys. So it's what I'm showing you is that white supremacists who are in law enforcement, who are in the security agencies in the United States, how they can change the minds of black people, right? And get them to incorporate some of the very same racist tactics that's being used on them onto one of their own. Okay. Look, he was trying to do some hand signal. Yeah, well, I caught him. Okay. He was trying to do some hand signal, but he got caught. And some of them are very good at masking, right? And some of them aren't. Some are very good at masking it, but some of the amateurs aren't. So he tried to do it when I turned and I saw what he was doing. So you see, I just want to pause it.
Oh boy, my ass.
Okay, let's check this out. Right there, right there. Sticking the thumb out. Right. So again, the phone
Alright,
camera
let's
switch.
see what shenanigans. It's just got off the bus. Well, let's see what shenanigans they're up to. Yeah. Let's see what shenanigans.
Let's see, where did he go? Again, see, he keeps moving his fingers. He sticks his hand in his ears. Okay. Now they're not done. I want you guys to check this out. Again, you'll see there's a woman standing in front of the building here. She was in between the door or this archway. As I approach, she comes out, she stops, she looks at me. Let me do this. Okay. All right. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Sees me, looks at me, starts walking off. Okay, at the same time, this woman from the post office looks at her, and as she starts walking, she gets out of her car. Synchronization, synchronized movement. Okay? She stops, she's looking at the lady in the postal uniform, the post office worker. She looks at her, she stands there, and you'll see what she'll do. She'll wait until I get close to her. Okay? Then she's gonna start walking. And then you see me starts turning the as I turn the phone to record her, as you can see.
Yeah.
So Again,
Little
what
things
they
I
do is
didn't do.
they try to match your
Walk
movement.
in front of me, stand up, and then as soon as I get close to them, then she start walking with me.
Okay. Again,
And I call them all the tactics.
I did a video when I went to Walgreens, and as I walked into Walgreens, there was a dude standing in the doorway, inside the doorway. As I approach, he leaves at the same time as I walk in. I was leaving, there was a woman standing there, same spot the guy was. As I exited out, because there's two sets of doors, as I exited out the first door, she was standing facing the street. You can't go on that side. As soon as I exit at the first door, she turns and she walks out ahead of me. All right, synchronized movement.
These guys should be well versed.
Now look at you're gonna see the red car now. Okay, now the person was pulling out. They saw me, but they stayed. Right,
And how
they
they
stayed. And what you're
target
gonna
people.
see when I talk about this type of movement. So you'll see um the woman, right, that came out the building, waited, looked at me, started walking. At the same time, the postal office worker got out of her car, right? Act as if she was walking uh, away from the car, turns around, walked back, stood up in front of her car, the side of her car. The same woman that came out the building stopped, looked across the street at the postal office worker, wait until I got close, then started walking. Synchronized movement and and also matching you step for step. Right? This is what they do. This is operated with military precision. You heard the terminology before, right? With operating with military precision. Okay, this is what they do. So, like I said, so now this red car now, because again they've been using the color red a lot. You guys see it in the videos that I post. Wait till I get close to the building, close to the car. Then now the individual drives off.
The red car pulls off. Right?
Okay.
Red car pulls off. Guy gets
At the
out of
same
his car
time,
down there.
there's a guy down the block, gets out of his car. He's wearing a red hat.
With a red hat on. Starts walking, then he turns around. He walks back.
Right there. See him right there?
See him right there? So he gets out of his car as the red car pulls off, walked backwards, not backwards, I'm sorry, but walk in the opposite the direction I'm going in, turns around, gets back in his car.
Now, again, he's not getting in his car to park in the parking space if the red car pulls off, because that's the wrong side. Right? And again, when the red car pulls off, he gets out of his car. Right? Walked away, then turned around and walked back and got back into his car. Now, check this out. So I had paused the video, right, to get in the door, and then I realized, I looked at the floor and I saw money on the floor. Okay.
So look. What's this? Money. Oh, look. Somebody left $5 on.
Now, as long as I've been in that building, I've never seen no money on the floor. Not once, ever. Okay? But if you go back and watch this video, when I crossed the street after I got off the bus, there was a woman that came out of the store. And she had, I don't know whether it could be $1, $5, whatever it is, in her hands, right? Using her index finger, her pointed finger, place it on the money and fold it, right? Walked into Pam's building. There's money on the floor. $5. Check this out.
For me. Oh, thank you. See that?
Remember I talk about numbers, right? Check this out.
See that? Somebody left $5 on the floor for me. All right. Thank you. Somebody with $5 on the floor for me.
So I get in the elevator.
Okay, look at this.
Get in the
$5
elevator.
are falling on
Right?
the floor.
I'm going to the 6th floor now.
Okay. Look at this
Okay.
stuff.
6th floor. And at this point, I think I stopped. Yeah, I stopped recording. Pretty soon. Right, so I stopped recording. Now you see me coming back into the elevator. The reason being, the elevator stopped on the 5th floor, not the 6th floor, on the 5th floor, right? As I'm exiting out the elevator, a young white woman, again, using white women in my targeting also, Wednesday night, as I entered into my building, the white woman came walking up with her dog. Earlier on in this video, during the day, after the Hispanic woman who pointed at me walked by, young white woman, you know, walking towards me, right? And so when I pushed the elevator open, and I saw her, I said, "Oh no, the elevator's going up on the 6th floor." You know, but she gets in, and then she's like, "Oh, the elevator's going down." That's what she said. She told me, she's like, "Oh, the elevator's going down." I got her. I said, "You know what? I can walk up the one flight of stairs. Not a problem." All right. So I exit out. Then she exit out behind me, and she says, "No, the elevator is not going down now. It's going up to the 6th floor." So now I got back in the elevator, which is what you're seeing me do here right now, and you'll see.
I get on the elevator.
6th
floor.
You see? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right. And the elevator stops
bro,
on the 5th floor.
I can't make this shit up, even if I wanted to.
Elevator stops on the 5th floor. So I get out, and I have to come back in, and there's a girl there. She comes, open the elevator. I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was the 5th." She's like, "No, it's I thought it was the 6th." She's like, "No, it's the 5th floor." I had to go back. She was like, so I stepped out to take the stairs. She was like, "Oh no, it's gone. Now it says 6." So I was like, "Oh, okay, wow, unbelievable shit that they do."
Okay. So that's got in the house, right? Now I'm tired, you know. I went and I made breakfast. I ate breakfast. Pam was still at home, right? Because I got there a little late after 8. So I got there. She was in the shower, what have you. Because when she called me, I was at home. I said to her, "Well, make the kids breakfast, so they still have breakfast. You can make them breakfast," which she did. So I got there, made myself breakfast, sat down, ate my breakfast while I was sitting with my daughter because she has class, right? So I'm tired. I lay down. Not lay down. Actually, I sat down on the couch. I was saying I kind of leaned back, and I kind of like, you know what? Let me at least close my eyes. Right? I'm still listening to Alyssa's teachers. What is that they doing? You know, such and such. So Pam keeps walking back and forth. So I was like, okay. So I put my phone on my chest, and I turned my camera on. As you see me turn it, that was me. I had just placed it on my chest with the screen on my chest, the camera. Okay. Now I'm telling you, listen, you can't make this shit up, man. I can't even make this shit up. Okay. Let me.
You guys gotta watch a video first. Gotta find it. I know I put the link down here somewhere.
All right. So now, I'm just there. I'm just letting the camera record, right? I'm just letting the camera record. So you'll see Pam.
Look at the picture and fill in the correct
Why is my shoe supposed to be on the floor?
and
Dame beso.
Now she starts talking in Spanish. She's not she's not Spanish. She's American. Her parents is from her mother's from Barbados, right? You know what I'm saying? She got uh, non-Spanish speaking parents, but because they've been using Hispanic people in my targeting, she does this, right? She has called me on her way home, and she's blasting Spanish music in her car, right? I'm like, okay, like, come on, yeah. So anyway, yeah, she starts speaking
Dame
Spanish.
beso, cookie. Yeah, yeah.
Read aloud, and then I'm going to go.
Right now, look, she saw the camera. She saw the camera. That's slight hesitation, but she did. I'm thinking that maybe she didn't think that it was on, but it was on. I was recording, and I'm sleeping now. She leans over and then she kisses me,
Yes.
right? So my daughter's laughing. So my daughter's like, then she's like, Daddy, you were sleeping and mommy kissed you. This is I'm telling you, you cannot make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up, even if I try. Right? So again, using Hispanic women to target me, then having her speak Spanish, right? I mean, it is like, uh, what can I say, man? But that's how they target me. It's part of my targeting, right? All right. So, well, yes, just got off the bus. And I did previous videos before, but I wanted to do this one and leave this one. I wanted to show this one for a particular reason. As I said before, yesterday I took Ethan to the barbershop. I did a video on that. And we're in the barbershop, and the barbers were talking to amongst each other. Then all of a sudden, one of them was like, "Oh, that girl killed herself, right?" And the guy was like, "Who? Who killed herself?" And she didn't even say any name. It's like this girl is such and such, and the other barber was like, "Yeah, really? Yeah." The other barber was like, "Oh yeah, she took a whole bunch of pills and stuff like that, right?" So after they had that conversation, my brother calls me. My twin brother, he was a TI before I became a TI. And I didn't answer because I knew they were using the technology to mind control him to have him call me, right? So I didn't call him. I text him saying, "Hey, I'll call you later," because they're using the mind control technology. The reason why they start talking about this suicide thing is because my brother tried to commit suicide twice early on in his targeting because of how he didn't understand what was going on. He didn't realize that he was being manipulated. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but he wasn't schizophrenic, right? This was an orchestrated crime against him, right? And the technology being used to drive him to the point where he wanted to commit suicide. And this is how they tried to send me subliminal messages about me committing suicide, which would never happen. Never happen. Okay? I love myself too much. I love my kids too much. Right? I love my family too much. I love black people too much. And even though they target me, I still love being around them. They can be pain in the asses, but I still love being around them. Okay? Right. So let's put that aside. Okay? And so I realized what was happening. Okay? So after I text him, about a few minutes later, Pam calls me. And she's calling me, telling me that she just came back from whatever, from somewhere from with one of the doctors. And she's trying to tell me, trying to keep me on the phone, what have you. So then fire trucks started going off, the sirens, then police. And I realized what was happening. They were trying to get her to keep me on the phone so they can engage in a noise campaign. So I said to her, I said, "Listen, I got to call you back because I can't hear you." And I hanged up. Immediately as I hanged up the phone, sirens got cut off. They shut it off. So I know they're actively monitoring my phone. Right? And they're at the point now where they're scared now. They're afraid. Right? They're afraid. Because I've had so much recording with the noise campaign that they've done to me the previous day. Right? And so now they're trying to target me in a much more covert way, and in a much more way in which that they're monitoring my phone. So every time I take my phone out, hit the camera app, sometimes they'll prevent me from recording, or they'll stop the noise campaign altogether. So
I'll tell you.
I mean, later on, I spoke to my brother later on, explaining to him what happened. He was like, "Yeah, I know." He was telling me about how they stole his glasses, right? And I was like, you know, that's why they always, I've shown this before, where you have people standing up with their glasses in their hand when they see me, or they'll take their glasses off when they see me and hold it in their hand. I mean, I wear glasses, he wear glasses, right? And I don't put my glasses where they can steal it, right? Because I know that they would. They love to steal your property. Okay?
They're a little bit quiet tonight. Like I said, they know I got them. They know I got them. And I can feel the tension when I'm in the bus. I can feel the tension, right? I can feel the tension when I'm in the bus.
They love to walk in front of you with their phone in their hand, looking at their phone and looking at you.
You cough all you want. You can cough all you want.
Yes, he walks back.
Right? See, there are a few moments as a TI. Yeah. He vaping, and he pulls on the thing, and it lights up red. Right? So, as I say, there are a few moments as a TI that you're going to get to enjoy. See, the guy in red shirt going to the store. Right? There are a few moments as a TI that you're going to get, man, when you're researching and also you're exposing what it is that they're doing. There are a few moments that's going to be, golden. Right? And, they figure that they can psychologically abuse you. They can hit you with these weapons. Right? They can mind control you. They can manipulate others. Right? They can poison your food, destroy your property. Right? Threaten you with physical harm, with being incarcerated, being mentally institutionalized, threaten you with homelessness, all this other stuff that they do in this Coercive Persuasion Program. Okay? And I'm showing TIs what they need to do to expose it. Okay? And when they're gonna come at you hard. Because they have to pound you down to submission, right? They have to beat you down to submission, okay? Right? And so they're gonna come at you in the most intense, ferocious way. And it's in those moments, right? It is in those moments in which you can, prove that you're targeted. That you're targeted. And you can do it in such a way, because they're going to give it to you. They're going to give you what you need, because that's who they are. So another dude wearing a red shirt walked up at the corner right here. He's standing there, right? So you have to get those moments, man. And so yeah, this is they know. They seen the video. I posted earlier. I just posted part 1, but I had to take it down because Pam had called me while I was doing it. This screen capture software
you know, it gets if somebody's calling you, you know, it's on your screen, it's gonna, you know, be on the video too. So yeah, I didn't want to, you know, when I realized that I had to put it to private, and you know, so I'm gonna redo it anyway. I'm gonna redo it on my computer. That way, you know, I'll able to edit it and do some proper zooming in so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about and what it is that they've done. And that's why I can say I can feel the tension. I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? I can feel the tension. You know, part of the reason also why she wanted me to stay, because then I'm gonna go home and edit this shit. And even all today, I was having. Yep. And like I said, you know, they know this video is coming, right? So they're gonna try to discredit this video before I even put it out, right? But you know, they can't. They can't. So that's why that tension was on the bus. That's why when I came in the house, my sister walking back and forth in the hallway, singing "hot dog, hot dog, hot diggity dog." I mean, even though her grandson was in the hallway running back and forth, okay, because before I came in, she was in her room with him. Okay, so now you see another guy in red. A lot of people are in red tonight. Once I start to see the frequency of people wearing red, I know they're using that color. Another guy came out the store wearing red. Oh, hilarious. All right, interesting experience. So, so I just got off the bus on my way home, walking home. I'm on the bus. All right, I'm getting off the bus, and I'm getting off. This woman opens up her purse, and in her purse she has a picture of, you know, it's a girl. They didn't quite really recognize the face or anything like that, but that shit is weird. I was like, okay, well, wow, well, hey, tell you, I guess it must, you know, what? No, we didn't want to stop me talking to women now. That's what it is, huh? That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, I gotta cut this off because of the music, and I don't want to get a copyright strike. But as I was saying, it's like they're now sending me a subliminal message that okay, you know, you can talk to women now, right? Yeah, again, it's about control, right? There are times when they'll send me subliminal message about if I talk to any woman, I get arrested and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, it's okay now. Like the women now. Wow. Yeah, close your jacket, buddy. Yeah. Right? I know, right? Case closed, right? Case closed. Case closed. What's up, bro? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he tries to close his jacket all this time. Yeah. See tonight. Right? Bullshit. They're trying. So anyway. Right. So see across the street. He's right. So now they want me to start talking to women now. Wow. But he has to meet me again. Synchronization. Synchronized. Yeah. Close. You come at the at a point, right? Where you. Your jacket, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, I look at it. I know, right? Case closed, right? Case closed? Case closed? What's up, bro? Yeah, okay. I always do that shit. So now if if I talk to a woman now, you're gonna close whatever case, yeah, you know, your bullshit case, that you know. Anyway, I say it's funny how desperate they become. Funny how desperate they become, right? They send me subliminal threats. If I talk to women, they'll arrest me, all this other stuff, right? So what? Now you're trying to get me to talk to women now, huh? If you're saying I'll talk to women now, what? You gonna close whatever case you motherfuckers trying to set me up or what have you? Okay, well let's go. Guess what?
I won't be talking to any woman, so come on. Let's go, come on. All right, could be that's what they want, right? You know, because they're straight playing these psychological games, right? You know, you know what we used to do, right? The kids, right? We used to say, there's a psychological things that we do to children in order for them to do what we want them to do, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. An example would be like when my son, my eldest, when he was younger, and he didn't want to go to bed. If I tell him to go to bed, he wouldn't want to go. So I said to him, "Well, okay, don't go to bed. Stay up. Don't go to bed. You better listen to me and do what I say. Do not go to bed." And then he'll jump into bed and go to bed. You know, that sort of thing.
It's like saying, "Oh, if you do this," let me see if I can find a good example of it, right?
I couldn't think of one at the time. All right. So anyway, let's keep. All right. Okay. So now I'm crossing the street.
He had his hand on his crotch. Okay, so
I forgot about that. Yeah. Let me
let's go.
The guy comes out of this.
Tell you that, and they've been using a lot of white and Hispanic people in my targeting for the past few days. All right, so glad I'm able to expose them. All right, so here's another thing that they'll do. Here is another thing
He laughs.
that they'll do. Like he said,
Why he laughs because
he laughed
because I'm going to
and grabbing his crotch when I turn. He had his hand on his crotch. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Right? Across the street. Again. They have the Crown Heights Safety Patrol. Right? I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Okay? I guess they're too chicken shit to send the NYPD and park their car right there so, you know, their ass don't get exposed. So like I said, they don't stop. They'll just find another way. Right? So if it's not the NYPD cars, and then it's the traffic officer, the traffic what is it? You know, traffic cars, right? Now the Crown Heights Safety Patrol. Oh man.
All right, yeah. Okay, so that is the end of the video and the end of this video. And so I hope I'm able to explain my target in a way in which it can be helpful to TIs. You know, if it's not, then you know, hopefully you'll find someone who's going through something similar and they're able to put it out there so that you can learn from it and understand what's happening to you. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to say good night, and I'll see you guys on the next video.